I wasn't a believer in the baggers in the beginning. After seeing Kyle's bike in person and what the factory was able to do in a short amount of time, I was like, whoa, okay, this is a little different.
It went from this is a joke to this is gonna be something. I mean, they're making major power and they got so much torque.
I try to tell people it's a spectacle. You gotta see it to believe it.
Baggers have never been raced, so we have something that no one else has ever done before.
Everybody is taking notice and wanting to get in on the action and be a part of it.
To see how fast and how crazy we were able to corner these motorcycles, these massive bikes, has been eye-opening for myself.
Respect is earned, not given. You look at some of the tracks and we're only 4 or 5 seconds behind super bikes.
They've come a long ways. We're here in the media center at Road Atlanta. We're sitting down in some individual groups with students and we're gonna get interviewed by them and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
This is a weird question, but like, do people actually like name their bikes?
They do, they do.
Have you?
We have not named our bike this year, but last year our bike's name was Big Blue.
Have you ever had an injury racing?
I have had a lot of injuries, unfortunately.
Have you ever been scared to race?
I have. I have been scared at times, and I think it's okay to be scared sometimes because it makes you focus more on what you need to do.
What does it feel like to race at fast speeds?
It feels exciting.
Kyle Wyman, down he comes. Oh, he could be so fast here. One more turn if he puts this together.
I told Bjorn when I go out in the first session, I'm not coming in until I break the track record.
Kyle Wyman folds it into 12, onto the throttle. Looking to make the move. He's currently 6th. And to the pole at a 131.015. Unbelievable lap. Reclaims his own track record. Here is a look at the number 10 of Travis Wyman. Bit of a surprise for me to see Travis back at 9th.
Big surprise, and I think that's why you see him out there this morning behind his brother. Maybe get a good tow off him and, you know, just kind of get up to speed quicker.
I feel like I'm riding the out of it and not improving. If you're 1 second off the leader, yeah, but it's pathetic. 33-0, 33-0, 33-0. Like, everyone's off the pace right now. The track time's dropped a lot. So what's it doing that you're not happy with?
Not the same feeling that it was before. Okay, all right, that's good.
Same feeling as before?
It's not. Pull the data.
I just need to get my confidence back. Daytona is Daytona, and like I don't even like saying it anymore. I was there to do a job, and I was ready to win the race.
Oh, his bike's gone. Oh, the other factory Harley has parked itself down on the bottom.
You could just see the racecraft at work. You know, he was setting himself up really well. There's zero doubt in my mind that he would have won that race.
That's behind us. It's time to start moving forward again. We have to figure out what happened, why it happened, and what can we do to fix and prevent it from happening again.
The riders need to have confidence not only in the bike, but in the team, that we're doing the right things for the motorcycle. And when they're confident and they're happy with their motorcycle, both Kyle and Travis are extremely fast.
Travis, he knows he's going to get back up there this weekend. We've got every confidence that he will. But certainly for Kyle as well, this is when we have to start winning.
I don't know. You might need to reconsider a whole lot of things. Or is it just one little thing? You know, that's the hard part.
We're walking down towards Saddlemen. This is a fun group. We're gonna go see what the deal is with them and just see what's going on. They look like they're rushing, so let's go barge in big time. We're coming in hot right now. Look, what do we got going on? We got a crew with the other crew. I'm the dude filming the dude who's getting filmed by the other dude. Stop, whoa, whoa, whoa.
We got another one.
Here we go, dude.
Team Saddlemen really stepped up their game this year. They went to a 4-bike effort, and they already had Corey West and Patricia Fernandez West. They added Jake Lewis, Frankie Garcia.
We were on the Indian side of it. We're absolutely thrilled to be back on a Harley. The way that I manage the team is pretty laid back. I want people to have fun doing this.
You know, there's 4 of us, which is a big team and a lot of riders, but it's like relaxed. You know, we know what we're going against, and you see the pressure of the other teams. Where our team, it's just more like a family atmosphere and keep it fun and light.
Jake Lewis having a good run.
Try to follow Kyle, see if he can get a good lap.
I'm getting the hang of, you know, this morning I was like a second off of Kyle, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much now the bagger grid's a lot of fast old superbike guys.
It's all superbike riders. You can't, you're the rookie, you can't come on and all of a sudden be the fastest guy on the team. It's messed up. It's okay though. I mean, even if you still win, I'm still the queen. I get the tiara. Yeah, that's right.
Patricia Fernandez West there on the number 87. And Patricia over 2.5 seconds quicker this year, Anya.
I am the only female that's ever raced a bagger. It is a male-dominated sport, but it's one of the only sports left in the whole world that's not sex-divided anymore. There's not a men's class, there's not a women's class. So once we put all our helmets on, we're all equal. I'm the shortest person on the grid. These bikes have to be raised higher because we're fighting ground clearance. I literally have all of my body weight and 620 pounds on the tiptoe of 1 foot. Like, you can do this, hold it up. Getting successfully off of that starting line without falling over is a win.
Corey West for Team Saddlemen.
This has been his best showing so far on the King of the Baggers. He's got to be feeling pretty good.
I still think that I could get on the podium, you know? I don't think that that's out of the question, but all the stars have to be in line, you know? We got these new bikes. They obviously look better on paper, so we should do better. So far we have done better than we have last year. It's just the level has gotten higher and it's made it a lot harder to do well.
Just a few short years ago, the Mission King of the Baggers class had a single race in a season, and now it's grown to a 7-round 14-race championship.
Here we go, 8 laps for Mission King of the Baggers, race number 1.
Looks like Corey West has got a problem there on the outside of row 3. They're pushing him off to the side. That's one of the Saddlemen bikes there, the 13.
What the f is going on?
I was having a real hard time finding neutral. The bike died, and they start grabbing my handlebars like, you gotta get off the grid, you gotta get off the grid. As soon as I get in the grass, of course I find neutral. This thing's running. If I could just be back in my grid spot, I'm good.
So here we go, lights on, and away we go.
I think I saw a black flag.
I believe you're right. The black flag?
That would be for Corey.
It was game over for me.
Look at how the Harley just pulls away when they get to the tight, twisty stuff. Travis Wyman on the second of the factory Harley-Davidson. Travis a little bit off this weekend on the Harley. We generally see him around the same pace as his brother up at the front.
Kyle Wyman continuing to set a torrid pace, a 1:30.889, his fastest lap of the race.
1:32.9. Come on, Travis.
The number 33 having his way, 157 miles an hour, pushing his own air. Now he's gonna manage it. Got a big enough gap now. Absolutely dialed in with this Harley-Davidson. Here it comes. Spinning the tire, wheel in the air. It's Kyle Wyman who takes a magnificent victory here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. And as we come across the line, it'll be Tyler O'Hara and Hayden Gillum. Travis Wyman in 6th.
When you start the season in a hole with 2 DNFs, it's a hard hole to crawl back out of. It's not from lack of effort. Add to that the high pressure environment, you don't have time to work things out.
You've got to get results right now.
Travis Wyman here, the number 10.
Let's hope he can get a good start.
Kyle Wyman looks virtually untouchable here. It is round 2, Mission King of the Baggers.
And we're away. Kyle Wyman looks like he got off the line clean. And oh, Kyle has to stand up because there's another bike in his way. It's the number 1 of Tyler O'Hara. Jeez. The Indian versus Harley-Davidson battle thunders on. Kyle Wyman looking for a way around in turn number 6. Not going to get it done this time.
My watch tells me I should relax again.
Wyman's going to pull out of the draft to the right of O'Hara. Let's see if he's got the speed to get past that Indian. The Indian's holding its own right now, and he's not quite close enough. As you can see there, O'Hara was deep on the brakes into here yesterday. He doesn't want to give up the spot, as you can see how backed in he is. And he's off the track.
Yep, there you go. Make a mistake, buddy. Yeah.
Well, Tyler O'Hara with a huge miscue, able to save it going sideways. Didn't even get close to that apex and hands it over to Kyle Wyman.
Yes.
But that pressure of knowing that you can't let Kyle get away, that caused O'Hara to get in there a little bit too deep.
Come on, Trav.
There's Hayden Gillum. Hayden Gillum has moved his way past Jeremy McWilliams, so that's going to put Hayden up into 5th. And you see Travis Wyman just behind him.
Come on, top 6. This is it.
Kyle Wyman on the gas, wheel in the air to take the checkered flag and does the double at Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta. Kyle Wyman, the class of the field.
We've got the championship points lead. We've won 3 in a row. We're banging on all cylinders, so it's good when you got time for a celebration wheelie across the line. I've never really done that. Today I did a proper wheelie across the line, so yeah, I was pretty pumped on that, and got to really stay on our toes, and it's not going to be easy. You can't stop improving.
Travis Wyman comes across the line in 7th.
It still ain't him, though. You know that.
I don't know what it is. I mean, is there anything you can see from what he's doing on track?
Looks like, just kind of struggling a little bit. It can be just a little thing, it can be maybe a little confidence, or maybe everybody else has made some strides and he hasn't found that setup to make that step.
Literally from here, we're going to COTA, so that'll be good. That's a test event. So we'll be able to try some bigger changes. Pressure's off. You make a bad lap time in testing, who cares?
I'm not so much worried about the bike, I'm worried about myself and my ability, because there's still some unknowns in what's actually going on. Gotta, stay focused and go out there and do my job. Get back on the saddle,
Here we are at Circuit of the Americas outside Austin, Texas. That was the racetrack that we nominated as the Harley-Davidson Factory Team to be able to test at, because it's the one racetrack we haven't been at. It's a pretty incredible place, and it's no wonder why the premier classes are here racing.
They look like they're on the top of a mountain up there. It just looks so cool, like he's just going off into the sky.
Kyle and I, we sit down after a session and we'll bring up the data and start staring at it. Data is the link between what you're feeling and then what's actually happening. To me, that's one of my favorite parts about the whole weekend is being able to discuss with him what he's feeling and figuring out why he's feeling it.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. It's just bouncing. Yeah.
We'll look at the data and we'll kind of look over each other and he'll look back at me and go, yep, that's it. He's like, I know what I'm gonna fix next time. I'm like, okay, good. And he goes out and he's gonna do it based on what he saw on that little squiggly line. And I bring up the new little squiggly line, and lo and behold, he did exactly what he said he was going to, and he was faster. In a lot of ways, we think of things in a similar way, about what is that next little tiny thing I need to do to be the best.
Yeehaw!
thing was on rails.
Yeah?
That's a motorcycle right there. I dropped another second.
Oh,
Travis didn't have the confidence and the bike setup that he needed to go really fast in Atlanta. So we want to come out of here with Travis having that restored confidence in the team and the ability to push the bikes to the limit. I don't care so much about the lap times today as I care about the comfort level of the team working together and the comfort level that the rider has on the bike. When this class started, you could have a good bike, you could have a good rider, and you're running at the front. In 2023, I mean, there's 10 professional race winners racing in the King of the Baggers class, but you have to be on it. The team has to be on it, and the rider has to be on it, and they have to be in it. If you stop challenging yourself, you're standing still, and you're gonna get passed.
Everybody elevated their game this year, and to start on the back foot with 0 points from Daytona and then a tough weekend at Atlanta, probably my two best tracks. I knew we had to get some things moving in the right direction pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. That's gonna work.
You won't get that one?
Yeah. Now the fun part. I'm gonna learn how to do this one day. For now, we leave it up to the experts. We're in Texas. Every time they have MotoGP here, the podium hats, cowboy hats. Oh yeah.
New boot goofing.
Fashion statement.
I just grew an inch.
That's the other thing about ropers, you just feel good about yourself. These are the ones.
Rubber sole, good for dancing. Good for
Good for dancing. And for the record, we listen to country music all the way here. All right, let's go racing. Where's everybody at? Oh, here's Rispoli. That's what matters. How we doing, bud?
You actually got one?
Dude, what are you talking about? She got the full kit. We're in Texas. What are you wearing?
The guy wants to be a cowboy, he shows up, you know what I mean? I didn't know if it was Frank or Rip from freaking Yellowstone.
Yeah, boys.
What's the deal? What's the boots?
Hey, we just got some nice little ropers. Just doing it, man.
You wearing those or Alpine Stars on the track?
I'm gonna probably wear my racing boots today. Yeah. I don't know how these heels are gonna work on the pegs.
Yeah, right off the airplane, straight to the bagger. Let's do it.
As part of Vance Hines and Saddlemen investing in racing Harley-Davidsons, we wanted to return the investment, invite them here to come to the racetrack to be able to get set up so we can have the best Harley-Davidson showing when we come here and race.
We've got to maximize every single hour we can. From last year to this year, there's like something not quite right for me. Maybe we don't ride exactly how Kyle does, and he's the one who's literally developed the bike. So the entire objective is to get James good feel so we can go and crush.
We're all on this together. We're all on the same brand. We're all trying to accomplish the same goal. And when you have that open camaraderie between the teams, there's power in numbers.
I love being a part of this little Harley, crew. Information grows, right? That's why Factory, like MotoGP, they have multiple bikes on the grid. Harley's giving us the parts we need. Obviously, they want the factory to win, but if they can't, say like at Daytona, we've got to be the guys to step up to the freaking plate.
Having Screaming Eagle helping out the Saddlemen team has just been crucial because to the naked eye, our bike looks almost identical to the factory Harley of the Wymans. We have a great base setup, and it's just up to us to kind of learn the bike and figure out what it takes to make it go fast.
I am super excited to be here. I did go up to all the riders to forewarn them I'd never been here before, so if they see me and I look lost, I might actually be a little lost. How do you get on and off the racetrack?
There's one gate over there and there's one gate. If you go down here and look.
Just like, very difficult to learn a racetrack. I'm thankful that Rispoli and Travis and some of the guys have helped me out and tried to give me a few pointers, but it's just about taking the time and learning and building up to it and getting comfortable. So I think I'm gonna spend the majority of my time at the beginning on the Pan America.
Besides King of the Baggers this year, Patricia and I both compete in the Super Hooligan National Championship on Harley-Davidson Pan Americas, which is their big adventure bike. Totally different from the Bagger, but it's equally exciting racing, and we're flying the flag for Harley in this class.
Definitely less intimidating being here with just the Harley riders, because we all kind of support each other. Even though we are racers and competitors, we are Team Harley. It's so confusing, and I know I'm going super slow because I don't know where the f I'm going. I'm in like second or third gear, so. Okay. But at least I can just follow you for one lap. Yeah. Thanks. Good to see you. Likewise. We like to walk out to this spot. You hear the water flowing into the little river and lake. It's nice to have basically a retreat. Your home is your sanctuary. Corey got me good with his proposal. I'll give him that much. Little I did not know it was coming. Corey and I are teammates and we're married, so it gets complicated. It's an amazing support system.
To have Patricia who races, it's just so much easier. I don't have to tell her why I'm so sore because she's just as sore as I am.
When we start working out, he'll take me on the mountain bike and he'll whoop my butt on a mountain bike. But then I'll be like, hey babe, come do this ab workout with me or come lift some weights with me. And he's like, this is horrible. Being a professional motorcycle racer, the physical demands are high. You have to have cardio and endurance for long race. You have to have strength to muscle the bike around. There's a lot of emotion involved with racing, a lot of passion. I am fiery and extroverted, and sometimes there's no filter. Corey is very calm, cool, down to earth. I call him Dream Crusher. He says he's realistic. When I have goals of owning 50 animals and all this other stuff, I don't want all of them to be rescue animals, and they're all gonna love me.
Yeah, and I just want enough land to have all these animals.
We're very different, but that's what makes us together such a great team.
That's a good one. First tee jitters.
I gotta tell you, dude, the heart was f***ing bounding on that one. Dude, I thought I was gonna kill somebody first hole.
How are you?
Doing good. Y'all too Hollywood for me.
James.
Griff, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is the best. This is the best week ever. Riding Coda by ourselves, playing golf.
It was a stinger.
On a weekend, we battled through tons of adversity, whether it be a bike mechanical or a crash or, hey, we have a bad qualifying or this, that, and the other.
Come on.
That was great. It was a great shot, dude.
It's 2 tap-in pars. I really should not complain.
So for us to kind of battle through that mentally and be calm, cool, and collected, the golf helps with, hey, let it go. We're on to the next. Goldfish mentality.
Ooh, good.
That'll work out.
Welcome to the show, boys. Just for the camera crew, baby.
Straight in the bunker. Sometimes you hit good shots in bad places.
Growing up, Harley is just something you cruise, but seeing the way that they're actually pushing around the racetrack and doing the things they do is really impressive. But at the same time, no offense, they're not the biggest guys. Yeah, I know they trying. No offense, not the biggest guys.
Oh, it's piped. Ooh, I don't know, it's leaking. Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
We'll dig it out. Yeah, so conditions today, are not ideal. It's a little bit wet. We've got some ground repair. Yeah, I still strive to be a better golfer.
Second day of the CODA test, I was beating my head against the wall. Atlanta was horrible for us. It was really in a bad spot. We really needed to understand the motorcycle and to understand how to ride it differently. I fully told the team, I'm like, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I need help. Somebody needs to help me figure this out. I don't know how to do it. When we went golfing, I told Kyle, I was like, dude, how the f do you ride this thing? He helped me a lot too understand it.
Okay, big dog, you ready? So just go out, go easy, because you should notice something big on this. So
Taking all that collective data, myself, Hayden, Steve, Kyle, our techs, to figure out how to do it. And within 2 laps, I understood. It's like this weird mental block gone, and I went, I get it. I know why they built this the way it is. Like instantly, within 2 laps. It was just like the weirdest thing ever. I'm feeling like, okay.
Well, you're feeling a change for sure.
It's giving me confidence. It's not taking confidence away. I'm trusting. If we didn't have the CODA test, it was season over.
We're still struggling a bit to get that feeling back with Travis and get the confidence back that he was going to need to be able to push at the front. We finally saw that the last practice day in CODA.
I woke up this morning and I said, all right, it's a new day, and just started pushing my own boundaries a little bit more. I mean, I was kind of stuck at this window at this lap time, and then the last session out, we made a big change, and I dropped 2 seconds like that.
Travis was right there behind Kyle, putting in lap times competitive with his brother.
I had one more in the tank, but we'll save it for when it counts. It's pretty good.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for your effort this week, dude, because you really had to put it in your head to make this work this week.
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm so glad we didn't give up after yesterday.
I am so glad as well, dude.
Now I feel like I'm back in my groove again, where I can push and feel comfortable, and things are looking up.
It's a demanding sport. It's not always nice. You can't guarantee an outcome. You can't buy yourself a win. All you can do is work extremely hard and put in the effort, push the limit to try to understand what not only the motorcycle is capable of, but what the individuals on the team are capable of.
You know, all the pressure's on them this weekend. It's their home track.
Here comes the 33. He is up alongside of him.
I knew it was going to come. I just didn't know when he was going to go.
Come on!
We sent the linebacker in.
Here comes Hayden Gillum. If I'm there on the last lap and I've got a pass opportunity, I'm most likely going to take it.
My XR 750 has been sitting. We've got tentative plans to go ride it somewhere.